So this might not be the best cinematographic choice to have this bright light behind me, but I could not resist showing some of this snow coming down. There's nothing like looking at a snowfall. I don't know why, but it's all part of appreciating the nature around and appreciating the different seasons. And now I get this feeling in March, getting near the end of the winter, and it's very pleasant just to observe the snowfall. My thought for today is about that little thought at the back of your mind, that little kind of nudging sensation where there's just something inside you telling you a message. And I'm trying to figure out what this means. I'm sure that everybody has had this, where you just get something very quiet inside, somewhere in your mind, somewhere inside yourself, saying something that it or you thinks that you should know. So it may be something like saying something is not quite right. Something needs to change. Maybe you're torn between two choices and it's pointing in one particular direction. So you may have, all external signs, everything seems to be going towards making one choice. Everything seems lined up for that one choice, but there's that little voice or that little feeling that just seems to be saying that actually some part of you wants to go with the other choice. And I'm really curious to investigate where this comes from. What is it like? What does it mean? Now, of course, we all have all these influences all the time. We have all these voices, saying to do this or that. I mean, it may not be an actual voice speaking to us, but somehow this feeling inside that something's pushing us in a particular direction. And we're being pushed and pulled in all sorts of different directions by all the different forces around us. So we're constantly getting nudged towards a certain direction. Maybe, buy this product, do this thing, you should do this, you should do that. All of that is sort of around us. This whole swirl of influence that's in one way or another trying to hook into our will and pull us in a particular direction. And we have so many of these little influences on us. Every time we make a decision, even if it seems like maybe a simple, straightforward decision, it may have all these different influencing factors that are all, each of them having its own little influence in our minds. So how do we tell which of all these influences is a genuine influence, one that should be followed, one that seems to be telling us a trustworthy message? Which of these influences can we trust? We certainly can't automatically trust all the messages coming from outside us, because clearly a lot of them are simply trying to manipulate us. We have messages, everybody's trying to make business and get business, and they're happy to take your money and take your attention, and they want to bend you in a certain way. And even from a personal point of view, everybody has their own desires. Maybe they want you, they want your attention. And, everybody appreciates attention for the most part. So all these influences around pulling us, how do we determine what is a good influence? And sometimes it seems like there is a voice that it feels like it's coming from inside us. It feels like different from all the different kind of influencing voices influencing nudges on our behavior. Sometimes there's something that just feels like a good voice that somehow we can trust. It feels like it's almost like ourselves, like a deeper part of ourselves, higher part of ourselves maybe, that is sending this message. So my question is, how do we recognize? It often seems like such a vague message, such a vague feeling, just the hint of a direction. How do we recognize this internal message? And also, how do we make it more clear? How do we bring it out from being this sort of faint hint and to really, maybe this is something that we can make stronger and make a stronger influence on us so that our own internal voice can speak louder. So I'd be curious to hear your perspective on this.